Hey everybody, Daddy back again with my friend, the resident doctor, James. You want to
Doctor.
introduce yourself to the people? Dr. James?
Hey. Cannot stress this enough. Not a real doctor. There is a real doctor in the server, and it's Ben and not me. Other than that, I don't know. I'm around. People know me.
Yeah, I have this rash thing maybe I'll show you after after we're done with this
Not
video
only
here.
am I not a doctor, if I was, I wouldn't be that kind.
All right. So we got a big matchup this week. So Darts is one of many 1 and 2 teams in my division heading into this match. But it's a scary team. I think there are a lot of scary teams across the league this season, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, when you double the number of teams, you double the number of good teams, right?
That's
And
the math checks out. See, this is why you're a doctor.
yeah, not a doctor.
Yeah, so the milotic is scary and Cinderace, obviously, but Togedemaru is what we really thought was going to give us problems this week.
Yeah, every calc we did, every mon were like, oh, these 4 moves, great. Oh, but how does it deal with Togedemaru? Or oh, but Togedemaru just fakes it out and then something kills it. Or oh, it's steel type, so we can't do anything to the Togedemaru. So we had some thoughts for dealing with that, right?
Yeah,
Um,
lots of coverage. We'll see the paste in just a second. But another thing that we feared was the trick room getting set up.
yeah,
Cursula,
definitely.
Trampa looked a little scary. Executor and trick room was something that we took into consideration.
Yeah, two pretty good setters. Executor as the more practical one, and Neil Ego as more of a like a oh no, that's the one with Trick Room. Now what kind of situation? But
Yeah, and
uh,
pretty not huge ground weakness on this team, but it exists. Togedemaru we thought would be a problem, and Nihilego also. Both 4 times weak to ground, so definitely brought some ground coverage this week. So let's jump into the pace here. We're starting off with Sigalith. So this is like the anti Trick Room mon. So we put a lot of focus into making sure Trick Room didn't get set up. Not a whole lot of emphasis on speed control other than that. So pretty standard Imprison set here: Trick Room, Protect, and then Psyshock because Darts' team is very weak on the physically defensive side. So we figured that Psyshock would be pretty good to just get some chip damage down.
yeah, and then tinted lens as well, so that then the only immunity to that side. I mean, there's only the immunity to the Psyshock, right? In the Galarian Lanoon, and then everything else is taken, neutral or super effective in the case of Neoligo.
Right.
And then yeah, just sash, make it go as fast as possible, so you can either get in a big hit or get that imprisoned before it's a problem.
Yeah, hopefully get them to waste a turn trying to set up Trick Room and then kind of go from there. And then we got Bubsy 3D. We got the Glycopod making another appearance this season for 6 points. This thing is wild. Pretty standard set here. Adamant Nature. Aquajet for priority water move, which was pretty good into Cinderace and Nihilago, whatever the hell you
Who
call that
cares?
thing. Who cares? Nobody cares. Liquidation is enormous damage onto basically everything on Darts' team. Leech Life to get some of that health back. And then Protect, because Glycopod will be the focus a lot of times when it's on the field. So this week we decided to keep it safe. I've run Assault Vest on it before, which has been pretty solid. But that didn't really matter against a +1 Meteor Beam coming from the Nihilego.
Yeah, it was dying to any rock move at +1 from Neoligo, and so the assault vest just was not worth it. So we just went with a little more damage onto those two big water moves. It was life orb at 1 point, but then obviously you can see that moved over to the Dragonite, but Mystic Water gets us almost all the way there,
Yeah, I had a
and
lot
then
of second guessing leading into this matchup because I don't know. This team really scared me, so I kind of started rethinking things. And I talked to you about it the other day, and um, yeah, Darts has a crazy team, but we'll
yeah,
we'll we'll get into that later. So I got the Glover coming back. Dust Noir is super bulky, so we put the expert belt on it. Pretty good coverage into Darts' team. It has Earthquake, which is going to hit things with 2 flying mons on the team and a couple protects. So the spread move is pretty nice. Expert Belt's going to do a lot of damage to several of those mons on his team. Ghost coverage and then Shadow Sneak just for that priority hit, which on a team with very low defenses is still doing a pretty decent chunk of damage.
Yeah, and the Poltergeist plus a follow-up Shadow Sneak was getting some good kills that otherwise could have been a problem for the Dusk Noir as well. I think we did the Poltergeist plus Shadow Sneak into Neoligo is a KO or something like that. Yeah, I think that was the what prompted us to double up on the ghost moves there.
Yeah.
And that also is, of course, the first of our let's have something to deal with the Togedemaru in that earthquake coverage.
Mm-hmm. We got Magnezone here, Iron Defense, Body Press. Looked really good into several mons on the other team. Thunderbolt to help with Milotic and just for that big stab damage. And then a Protect, the Fireberry, mostly for the Cinderace. It could have been a Choppleberry too. Really could have gone either way. Decided to go with the Fireberry.
Yeah, there was just some other tools spread across the team to deal with the Cinderace between couple strong priority moves. Sash plus Psyshock is doing a big chunk off the Sigilif. Yeah, there were just other options. So having the Fireberry as opposed to the Fighting Berry just was kind of.
And if anybody's wondering out there, there's not a whole lot of ground coverage on Darts' team, so that's why we weren't necessarily.
Yeah, not super worried about the 4X there.
Yeah,
and then Magnet Pull, obviously, just as sort of so we can kind of pick when we wanted to deal with the Togedemaru and then just lock it in, deal with it, and then forget about it.
Yeah. So Gex the Dragonite again, pretty standard, multi-scale, so hopefully we can get up Dragon Dance and kind of spiral out of control from there. Dual Wing Beat and Dragon Claw hits everything for neutral or super effective. It's pretty standard Dragonite set, big damage. Try to go first after Dragon Dance. We outspeed everything on the opponent's team, and nothing really special here with the Dragonite.
Dragonite, though, was one of the other ones that went through several different iterations, too, right? There was a banded version for a while. I think there was was there like did we have Ice Resist Berry Inner Focus at one point instead or something like that?
Inner Focus was on there, and a lot of iterations of Dragonite here, and the Dragon Dance
just went with Dragon Dance Life Orb.
Keep it simple. It's also my only really form of trying to go first on this team other than Imprisoned Trick Room. Because Tauros is Assault Vest, Sheer Force this week because we did not want to trigger that competitive on Milotic. So decided to just go with Sheer Force. Body Slam is doing a ton of damage. Iron Head was close to one-shotting Togepi. But I don't think it quite got there because Eviolite Togepi is pretty bulky.
Pretty bulky.
Close combat because it does a lot of damage. And then, again, Earthquake for that ground coverage.
Yep, and again, there was several different versions of the Tauros. I think we had Scarf Icy Wind at one point. Couple different things, but running the Icy Wind would have meant no Sheer Force, which means, either a useless ability, an Anger Point, or... well, not useless, but not predictable.
Probably useless. Yeah.
Probably useless, or risking given the competitive boost of Milotic. And we were thinking that with the as long as the Milotic never gets that competitive boost, it's probably pretty handleable. We can chunk it in two hits plus a Shadow Sneak or something, or whatever. But if it's throwing out +2 Muddy Waters, then we have problems.
That's when issues arise.
Heaven forbid a Hydro Pump or something like that. So
here we are, team preview, game 1. What are your thoughts?
So we got if the Trick Room is coming, which it looks like it might, because we've got that Drampaw, and Drampaw's very slow and just loses to the Dragonite outside of Trick Room. So Trick Room being on the Neolego seems likely, or at least plausible, right? I mean, the Drampaw could have, it could have super effective coverage on all six of your Mons. I think, right? It could be like Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam or something like that. I think that hits 5 of the 6. But so yeah, Drampaw always scary. The Togedemaru and the Togepi, the twin Togies we were expecting, and then yeah, the Cinderace, because you invest that many points into Libero, you want to bring Libero as much as possible. So
Yeah,
that
so a lot of
more or less
things,
makes sense.
yeah, kind of a lot of things that we expected, I think, showed up. Um, and
What's not there? No Cursula. Scyther we never really considered as a real possibility. The no Lanoon Galar means your Psyshock is like very reliable. And then yeah, no Trapinch, no Executor. So not super all in on the Trick Room, but I think it's probably pretty likely at this point that there is a Trick Room option, at least if nothing else.
yeah, at this
So
at this point in the team preview, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, maybe Nihilego has Trick Room. Doesn't seem super likely because it's not a phenomenal Trick Room setter, but it could be there as a surprise. So
So if I'm darts in this situation and I'm looking at your team, I'm thinking where's the scarf? Because otherwise, Cinderace is faster than everything, right? And then the other thing I'm thinking is Togepi can kind of just sit on the field and have a nice friend guard boost. Just make all the calcs rough and uh, you know click helping hand 3 times and be a huge assist into getting KOs.
yeah,
From your perspective, I'm worried. I'm worried about the Cinderace. The Togedemaru in this position isn't super terrible, right? Because like if I don't know if like the Togedemaru plus Neoligo shows up, then you can as like a set the Trick Room and then I don't know like Volt Switch out or something like that to get the Drampaw in is a possibility. I honestly like just all in on the offense, right? So something like Dragonite, Golisopod seems pretty safe, or perhaps like Dragonite and Dusk Noir. But I think I like the Dragonite here definitely.
all right. Well, let's jump right in.
Let's
So
see what
here
we
come the
got.
leads.
A Magnezone. All right, makes sense too. And yeah,
Oh,
there's
see
that
the items.
that Togepi to just sit there and be annoying. Uh, looks like we got to follow me. Okay, so in
Surprise.
your position here, yeah, right. Who would have expected? In your position here, I feel like a body press is pretty safe. Just to start getting some boosts. Alternatively, just double double in and either hope you can punch through the follow me or just get big damage. The Togepi melodic kind of says coil to me, right? So maybe some what does melodic get? Hypnosis or something like that? What
Yep.
it gets an inaccurate sleep move, right?
Yes. Hypnosis.
Maybe coil hypnosis, which could be annoying.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I figured some kind of coil setup, something like that is about to go
Yeah.
down.
Could also, in the face of Togepi, just like switch out the Magnezone into one of your flyers and just start throwing out earthquakes. Right, is also a possibility. So let's see what happens. Oh, Dragon Dance, interesting.
That one
Not
caught me off
expecting that.
guard.
Yeah, paralysis always nice. And then yeah, double in and doesn't quite take it out, but the Shadow Sneak probably gonna finish it off. what physical moves does Milotic even get?
That's a
Right?
great question that I did not know
'Cause
the
like
answer to.
it's a base 60 attack stat.
Right.
So like presumably this is mostly for the speed boost, right?
Hmm.
Like this is Darts's sort of speed control
That's what I would have
option. But
assumed too.
anyway, let's see how things go.
So big switch here. I,
Sure.
I did not consider it. I was expecting another follow me.
Second Dragon Dance, just keep going even faster, and then yeah, Thunderbolt, I guess, yeah, into the Lightning Rod, and then was that a Shadow Sneak to try and finish it off as well, or Poltergeist just for some big damage?
See, so I figured right here, if Togepi stays in, which I thought it was going, I thought it was going to just follow me. I figured I'd
Yeah,
kill it with Thunderbolt and then big Poltergeist and then milotic. So
yeah. Or I mean, I think you just make them have it anyway, right? Like you make them follow me anyway, so you just point all your power into the melodic as
yeah,
is.
really nice
But
switch, but milotic eats big damage here. So
yeah, so potentially looking at a fake out on this next turn. Otherwise, yeah, just throw some more attacks out. Oh, that's not a very strong Zing Zap. Love to see that too. Oh, okay, Sash. Sure, because we saw the lightning rod, so we know it's not sturdy.
yeah,
But yeah, and then we're in another good position to shadow sneak and throw an electric type move out.
yeah. This
The Togedemaru doesn't want to switch in to either, or the Togepi doesn't really want to switch back in to either spot, right? Because like it's either taking the shadow sneak, which Darts doesn't know you have at this point, but
right.
like it knows it's taken something, and it doesn't really want to take anything.
Yeah, you want to get one more follow me if you're darts
What do
out.
we think the fourth Pokemon is at this point? With this kind of weird melodic set that's kind of just gotten fast and done nothing so far. I'm not really sure what the fourth would be. I mean, like you can't go wrong with any of the three just because they're all pretty reliable. But I'm interested to see what the
But
fourth.
frail. They're also frail, right? So
Yeah,
helping hand is good.
helping hand. Yeah, totally. And then yeah,
Beats the
dead
shadow sneak.
dead mouse.
Does something.
Well, I mean at +2, but yeah, then with the dead lightning rod, you've then got a dead water snake, and then we've got a Cinderace and Togepi. Um, we got Tauros coming in. Fair enough. Yeah, just keep the Magnezone safe.
So
Oh,
that I did not expect. I was expecting the Magnezone to get focused down. I thought I could get off an
yeah,
earthquake for free. So good call out by darts there.
I did not. So what have we got? Yeah, high jump kick, so risky, but I
But
mean,
so good.
but yeah, I mean, 130 base power. All right, yeah, Dragonite should be able to clean here. Oh, that's a big live because we did not calc for that.
Certainly did not. So that is a big live.
Yeah,
So Thunderbolt
that
here.
is that's big. Yeah,
And then
clean
we'll
that up,
see the forfeit here. So
and then
we're going to go
oh
ahead
yeah,
and give the
we'll give
KO to
that one to
Dragonite because
Dragonite. Fair. Just
Dragonite's going next.
stack the stats. Yeah, yeah,
It's a
definitely.
90% chance that Dragonite gets a kill, right? So
Yeah, sure. If it hits the dual wing beat, it gets
exactly.
the kill, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
So
So
game one, thoughts?
a weird comp from darts, and I was glad to see the Dragonite come in at the end because, like I mentioned, I do think the Dragonite looks good into this 6. Just the Togepi to be a dragon immune, and then you're hitting neutral into 4. Togedemaru is, I mean, we've got the ways to deal with the Togedemaru, so we're not too worried about that. And then Dragon Claw plus flying is just pretty sweet into a lot of them. The late game Cinderace is kind of strange, but like I guess like you're like if you're darts, you're thinking I've got this melodic set. I think physical melodic with some dragon dances can do some work. And so yeah, you want to try that out. You think you've got an idea, and then you start with what you think is good, and then you just have sort of your backup rabbit man in the back to
it comes in fast. It cleans
ideally
up
clean
is
up.
the idea,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
how I'm
totally.
feeling about this, I feel like Magnezone is looking really strong in this matchup so far.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a little afraid of the Cinderace. The milotic set, like you said, is kind of weird, but now I need to respect it, right? I can't just let him sit there and continue to use Dragon Dance over and over again. Or maybe I can. But what I'm worried about is my lack of speed control because now
Yeah.
I recognize I am not going first unless I get a Dragon Dance off. Maybe even bringing maybe even setting up Trick Room for myself could be an option.
Sure. Yeah.
So let's jump into game two and see what
Yeah.
leads we get
Totally.
here.
All right. So,
Let's switch
let's
side.
get the yeah get the Ash Whoopers on the home side.
That's right.
All right. So Neoligo Cinderace, very different lead, and same from you. That makes sense, right? Like you get the Scarf. All right.
And
So
Scarf means very little other than it outspeeds a
other
Dragonite
than
at
yeah,
plus
it's
one.
still outspeeding Dragonite after a Dragon
Yeah.
Dance, which is good to know. Especially for a potential, if we have to go to game 3, maybe the Trick Room is the plan, right?
Yep. And as I'm saying it to you, I kind of wish that I had led Trick Room in front here. But hindsight's 2020, right? You can
Yeah.
always make different
So
plays.
so I'm thinking probably just same kind of plans, right? Dusknoir's beefy. Get a big hit into something. Same for Magnezone. We did see it live the high jump kick, which we did not calc for. So that was either a great roll or we're geniuses.
Yeah.
So Iron Defense doesn't seem super safe here. So maybe
Definitely considered the Iron Defense, but I'm like, I'm going to throw an Earthquake out against these
yeah.
two. That
Sure,
was
and
my
just
thought
bring in one of your
process.
flyers or protect something like
Yeah,
that. That makes
and we'll
sense.
see
Yeah,
how that
totally.
works out for me. Not well.
Oh, big
Big call out.
beefy damage
Really, really big call out
and
here.
targeted in. Yikes. Okay. So
Really rough turn one. Really rough.
yeah, yeah. That's a scary turn one, right? So Darts clearly says, all right, my shenanigans is not the way to go. Let's just point strong attacks at point it all at one and roll some dice, I guess. How many different moves did you show on the Dusknoir in game 1? 3? You showed
Three
everything but Ice
Earthquake,
Punch?
Poltergeist. Yeah, everything but Ice
Yeah,
Punch.
so Darts is thinking either protect or 4 moves for sure. Potentially thinking Trick Room as your 4th, right? Because
Yeah, and I
your,
think
your your
it's
team looks like it could be a Trick Room
and like you said, it's a safe
team, right?
call
So
no matter what because I cannot
yeah,
Earthquake next to Magnezone unless I switch or protect. Right. So,
yeah,
a really good awareness
yeah.
by
A
Darts here.
scary adjustment by
Yeah,
Darts for sure.
absolutely. And this is a big hole to climb out of because now we have a +2
Yeah, now I can just
Nihilego.
throw some sludge bombs or whatever.
So
All
some
right.
Blaze
So
button.
we didn't. So we had some calcs for Aquajet into these two mons, right? Life Orb Aquajet was a coin flip into Neolago, but we're Mystic Water, so it's slightly less than a coin flip. And Cinderace was strong. It was like 12.5%
I don't
to
think
one shot or
Cinderace
something like
was
that.
dying. I think it was
You don't
it
think
would
it was
take him
dying? It was
down very low, but
like
Nihilego
70,
was
78
dying
or
with
something
no
like that.
investment, I think, most of the time. So
Yeah, it was exactly 50% into
Yeah.
a no investment Neolago. But switch out is nice. Okay, so that Togedemaru is staying in. Period, right? Because we got the magnet pull. Yeah, and protecting or Aquajet into the protect is fair enough. Man, you would have looked like an absolute genius if you'd body pressed
Yep.
the rat
Yep.
instead.
I really wanted this Nihilego gone.
Yeah.
So if I could double up in
Sure.
Darts is just he's reading me like a book at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, give him a library card, right?
All right. So you get the fake out into the
Bubsy.
We know how it goes from there.
Although we are getting more good moveset, Neilio moveset information, right? We see 2 rock moves, protect, probably Sludge Bomb as a 4th, but I mean, if anything can pull it out in this situation, it's the Magnezone, right?
Because hope.
I mean, it is at +3, which is terrible, but
so this.
And speaking of terrible,
Helping Hand +3 Power Gem kills through multiscale.
We
got some information.
Makes sense, yeah.
So yeah, this one is a complete steamroll. Really well played by Darts. I definitely could have played better myself, but Darts had me called out on every turn, every move. So amazing round for Darts here.
And we know the +4 Helping Hand Power Gem is killing even resisted. So
yeah, so really good adjustment, and I just felt so hopeless. It was like Darts was inside my head. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, and it's such a different sort of like play pattern from game 1 too. Game 1 also.
And looking back, I think Trick Room might have been the way to go in that game too.
And particularly now after you've seen the Scarf on Cinderace, and like the Milotic was just not getting it done, so is unlikely to come again. So an adjustment of maybe like, I don't know, Neoligo, Cinderace, Togedemaru, Drampaw as a possibility, or maybe Togepi Drampaw over Togedemaru. Although again, Togedemaru is like good into your team, so is unlikely to not come. So yeah, I think Trick Room for game 3 makes a lot of sense here.
And after game 2, I'm realizing that the lack of speed control options on my team is really a hindrance. So maybe a different Tauros set would have been nice, but I guess we're still getting outsped by the Cinderace and killed.
Or Scarf Icy Wind isn't even getting that done anyway.
Right.
In the case that Cinderace is also Scarf.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty, like, Darts is clearly like, all right, something is going to try to outspeed this Cinderace. I'm just going to make that not an option.
Make sure I go first. Absolutely.
Yeah. Losing some of your like flexibility with Libero and stuff like that, but like high jump kick is strong. Like you just throw it into everything, right? Pyro Ball is strong. You just throw it into everything. So
especially if you plan on bringing it in the back, just to clean up.
Totally.
You know, if there's only 1 or 2 mons left on the other team, hopefully it works out.
One hit one and then 2 hit the other. So we thinking probably a Trick Room for game 3 here. Or
I didn't want to give it away earlier, but I think that in game 2 and 3, I think I had a really poor leads. I kind of knew what was coming. At least I knew that Darts was trying to go faster than me. And I didn't have many speed control options. I think you're absolutely right. I think Trick Room was the lead in games 2 and 3, so I think that's a misplay by me. But I'm kind of thinking, look, we have the move coverage to beat Nihil Let's Go, and we have a really bulky, really offensive Dusknoir. Let's give this a shot. Let's hope that our base stat totals can carry us, because I didn't even consider, to be honest with you, I didn't even think about bringing the Sigilyph, and I should have.
Really?
When I saw that there was no Trick Room on the other team, I was like, well, I have 2 moves,
Yeah. Well, so the thought is the secret tech, though, right? I mean, and it's not a secret, right? But you're also imprisoning the protect.
Absolutely.
Which makes your
and Psyshock
predictions a lot easier. Yeah.
And Psyshock looks good.
Totally. Right. Yeah, Psyshock is good into Neoligo. So in any lead other than Neoligo next to Togepi, I think you're just double priority the Neoligo, and just you're kind of just laughing, right? Because
that's what I was thinking.
Maybe it protects, but then you just do it again the next turn. Mm-hmm. But with the Togepi, things get a little scarier, right? Because Neoligo can pretty safely Meteor Beam, We know the Glycopod is not living that. Did you show Protect on the Glycopod in game 1? I don't remember.
I don't believe so. I don't think I've shown Protect yet. I think I tried to Aqua Jet twice, once into Protect, and the second time got killed.
Just got killed, yeah. Okay, so protecting this Glycopod on turn 1 and Earthquake seems nice here.
Yep. And that is the play that I go with. But
well,
outplayed.
Outplayed-ish, I would say, right? Because, like, you're getting
hold on.
some onto Togepi, right?
Outplayed, right?
Oh, okay.
Outplayed. Really nice, nice play by Darts.
Yeah.
And then the switch out here, just in case I keep the Glover in, is another really nice play.
Yeah, not expecting the Milotic in game 3, but
I was not either.
I honestly, I don't really I don't hate seeing it, right? Because I don't think it was much of an issue in game 1, and so just being it being on the team, I think makes things a little easier for you, right? Right, because now it's one of either probably Cinderace or Togedemaru.
Yeah, and I feel really good about having Glycopod
right?
on the field now too, in front of Milo.
Yeah, because what is the Milotic going to do? I mean, it's got to get to +6 to have an issue there. Yeah, so feels a lot nicer now, right? Also switching. Big damage into the Milotic. Oh, Jan fails. Sure, you just said, I'll just stay in.
Yeah. I decided not to stay in. Or sorry, I decided to keep it in.
Yeah.
I figured I'm probably going to eat another Jan in that slot if I switch out. So I saw an opportunity to get Magnezone in and hopefully get up some Iron defenses. Kind of the thought process here.
Neither one of these Pokemon is doing much to it, and from a really rough lead in turn 1, now sitting at the beginning of turn 3, things look a lot better for you, for sure.
Yeah. So we fall asleep.
Falls asleep at the end of the turn. Double switch is nice. Follow me.
I was expecting a switch, and I think this is another misplay by me. I think I had quite a few misplays now that I'm looking back, actually.
So, kind of just a turn where nothing happens except Milotic is at +1/+1 now. And then, Togepi gets to just start redirecting. Even at +1, Dusknoir takes those like a champ. 2 turns of sleep now is rough. Defense drop is nice. That means the Aqua Jet is definitely going to finish it off, right? And then hopefully Dusknoir is waking up, right? We're not getting a 3-turn sleep.
That's what we hope for.
Yeah.
So there goes.
At which point, you're in a great position again now, right? So.
We do get the 3-turn sleep.
Of course, we do get the 3-turn sleep.
Now, it's Pokemon. It happens. I think that
right.
Up until this point, I think I've already made a couple questionable plays. One with the lead, and then another one with the Magnezone switch. It is what it is. Nobody.
Yeah, I don't hate the Magnezone switch, actually, because it forces Milotic can't just sit there and do nothing forever. It has to actually do something, and which just lets you kind of burn some sleep turns.
Agreed, but I think setting up those Iron defenses might have been nice. I was a little worried about the Magnezone getting put to sleep too. So, whatever.
All right, so
this is scary.
So we got this very, very fast Cinderace. So definitely waking up. So we can probably point 2 priority attacks into the Cinderace, and that could go very well for us, right? So the Cinderace, if it's fast, it's not bulky. So the Aqua Jet is at 80% or something like that. Shadow Sneak probably finishes it off with Stab.
Shadow Sneak and Aqua Jet, I believe, was a roll.
All right.
So I decided not to go for it, and I get crit, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that is rough. And then it goes out. So.
Waterfall kills the Glover. So, some unlucky RNG, but also some misplays so far. This is the game we play, right?
So locked into Fire Move. which obviously we see is
We're
going.
dead. Yeah.
And yeah.
I knew that was coming, right? I could have aqua jetted, probably should have. I was hoping he would double up to counteract the multi-scale.
Oh, sure, get the first hit in and then go for a second one. I don't know if I mean you're probably not in a great position to want to be dragon dancing. You probably just want to be throwing some attacks out at this point.
And the problem with that is I lose
dragon.
the speed control matchup. And this move comes out, which I had no idea.
Oh, so now we know why milotic was a physical milotic off a base 60 attack, right? So it's water plus ice is pretty nice, and then Akaberry,
GG.
2 hits, but the waterfall makes it to the point where nothing is it's not living another hit pretty much regardless, and then Cinderace gets to just clean it up.
At that point, there's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
So
Big adjustments. I didn't know Milo got triple axle either.
I had no idea. I'm still shocked.
Yeah. Like it's not even something I would have thought to check, right? And obviously didn't check. Like what physical moves does milotic get? Like because you think milotic ice coverage, you're thinking Ice Beam and Icy Wind, right? Two great tastes that taste great together. But yeah, I mean, triple axle is a very smart bring to deal with specifically multi-scale Dragonite, right? So the first hit breaks the multi-scale, the second hit does 70%, and the third hit cleans it up.
Yep.
I think maybe leaning a little more on your priority could have been nice once it became obvious that like the speed was not really what we thought it would be, right? But I mean, for the most part, I think there's a lot of reasonable decisions. I think you were right to not bring Tauros after game 1.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't really getting it done, and especially with the fast, with the Scarf Cinderace, like it's a
90% chance to die, right?
Exactly.
You're gonna lose
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Particularly with it being Assault Vest and not having a protect there to even like. I mean, Darts doesn't know it's not a mind game, but you know it's not a mind game, so you're just hoping for that 10%, which is that's not the way you want to live, right?
Yeah, I think like you said, some misplays with my priority moves. 3-turn sleep does kind of suck. The crit on Glyspod does kind of suck.
3-turn sleep sucks.
But that game 2, I was destroyed so terribly. What Darts did to me.
Yeah, it feels like maybe Darts was in your head a little bit in game 3.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because of game 2, right?
Honestly, I've been a gamer for many, many years, guys, okay? And sometimes the tilt sets in.
Yeah,
right?
Darts is a pretty youngin', right? Probably longer than Darts has been alive.
Absolutely. So I definitely was not making my best decisions, and I felt like Darts absolutely was making the best decisions. So that little combination there kind of makes it rough. I think the Sigilyph could have been really big here. I think leading that might have changed things. I think using those priority moves might have changed things too. You can't blame the hacks because it's part of the game, right? It could have gone the other way too.
And my thought is often that the dice rolls matter less often than it feels like they do.
Yeah.
Right? Because I mean, between confirmation bias of you only remember when it matters, and also it just doesn't matter as much, right? Like there's just less often where that crit or the 3-turn sleep or the 3 versus 2 or whatever is less of a big deal. It's just often less of a big deal than it feels like it is. But
it would have mattered. Now that I'm looking back at it, because I did target the Milotic with Leech Life. So if I don't get crit and I don't hit the emergency exit, I get that life back and probably knock out Milotic. I don't know. I'm not going to run calcs because
you don't need to right now. Yeah, but I mean, if I'm being honest, I definitely think the play here when Dusk Noir is going to wake up on this turn, right? This turn 6. I think it's a double priority into Cinderace for sure, right?
I agree with you. 100%.
Even if it's a roll.
You know,
it's got to be a roll in your favor.
and or even double priority into Milo, right? Is another option. Because that would definitely
it's a possibility.
I think
I mean, resisted Aquajet is kind of rough, but
oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's not killing. I don't know. I wonder how much bulk investment this had. But you know, it is what it is. Darts played really, really extremely well. Really good prep by Darts. Triple axle on milotic. I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, I mean, and even game one, I'm thinking like, well, Darts has something interesting to try. Maybe, you know, let's see what physical Dragon Dance Milotic can get done. And was thinking that turns out the answer is not much, but it actually turns out the answer is win in game 3 with a triple axle.
The answer is take out that Dragonite. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely
totally.
Huge.
But
any closing thoughts?
The team building is tons of fun to do live. I mean, live, we did it ahead of time, right? We're an hour and a half or 2 hours or something almost, just hanging out and throwing out silly Pokemon sets. But yeah, team was tons of fun. Your team was fun to build with. I think you and I had some different ideas about your team that, you know, you kind of surprised me. Like, I hadn't really considered how many of your Pokemon could be just very aggressive, right? Because that's just like not really how my Pokemon brain works, right? I'm always looking for the answers. The supports and the answers more than the power and the questions, right? But I think honestly, both of these teams were pretty like, you know, teching against Darts and also getting to tech for your team specifically was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, and doing this commentary. You know, I mean, I can talk about Pokemon for forever. We could be here 10 more minutes. Let's do all 3 battles again. Let's
we'll just run it back.
Just run it back.
I'm glad I got to do this with you. It's always fun making content with you. And,
yeah, totally. Lots of fun.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. It was a really good set, really well played by Darts. James, again, thank you for helping me out. Thanks for participating in this series. It's been a lot of fun to make. Hope everybody's still enjoying the Daddy Plan, and I will see you guys next time.
Awesome. Peace.